Hi, it's Chris Condon again with Specialized Real Estate Services here. Wanted to talk to you a little bit today about how to avoid a bad deal. I was out and about looking at some rehab properties the other day and searching MLS and came across this property from the outside. Looked like it might be an opportunity, might be some money to be made there. It was a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1-car garage up here in Bolingbrook. Taxes seemed about all right, and the asking price seemed fair for what it looked like on the condition of the property. Went out there and took a look at it. And, quite honestly, I was quite disappointed with it. Looking at the repair list and what it was going to take in order to get it into a condition where, it'd be appealing to somebody. Really, it needs a new roof, new fascia, soffit gutters, windows. Really, the kitchen needs to be replaced. The bathrooms need to be replaced. The whole thing needs paint and carpet throughout. It's pretty filthy, needs a lot of cleanup, both on the inside and on the outside. In order to make this desirable. And really, when you really start putting kind of pen to paper and looking at the numbers, realistically, it's going to take probably 40, maybe 45,000 in order to complete. It's not that big of a house, so maybe a little bit less, but I'd rather be a little bit more conservative in my estimates. And then when I start looking at what comparable properties in the area actually sell for, and I think on the top end, you're really 100 to 105,000 is what it should actually sell for. So when I kind of put it into my financial breakdown model that I've created here, if I take 105,000, I usually put in there kind of a fudge factor or an adjustment factor of around 5%, and then I know the closing costs are typically around between 7 and 9%, so I usually project them at 9%. And then if I run a couple of different scenarios with the rehab costs, talking, do kind of the minimum to be able to sell it, of 30,000 and kind of the maximum of 40,000, it looks pretty tough here, and I'm not including any holding costs there or the buying costs. So in order to make kind of a minimum profit model of around 25,000, realistically you'd have to buy the property for around $25,000 to $30,000, and keep in mind they're asking about $65,000 for it at this time. Kind of what was really the deal breakers for me was, as I drove through the neighborhood and looked around, I realized it probably wasn't the most desirable area in town, which was a little bit alarming for me. Number two, the floor plan. It really was a poor floor plan. I don't think it'd be very appealing for a lot of people. And as I'm going through these properties, as I'm driving around, really I'm always thinking about what is the end game. How am I going to sell this property? How am I going to rent this property? How desirable is this property going to be once we get it all fixed up? The other thing that was kind of alarming to me here was I couldn't really clearly define what the fix-up rehab plan was going to be. The property, could be, or there was a number of areas where, I was concerned about, spending a lot more money than I had originally anticipated in order to make this work. One of the alarming things as well was in one of the bathrooms they'd kind of tried to rough in or do a laundry room in one of the bathrooms. So there's just more than too many things to be a little bit concerned about. And then when I started really looking at the numbers, it just didn't work. So wanted to save you some time and kind of inform you a little bit more on what to look at in the future. Do come across opportunities and deals that do make a lot of sense on a pretty regular basis. If you'd like more information on some of those opportunities, give me a call, 888-642-8101. Once again, 888-642-8101. I look forward to talking to you soon.